We will now study the electrical emergency configuration. We will demonstrate the case when the electrical system is supplied from the emergency generator, all 4 main generators lost. The emergency generator is powered by the green hydraulic circuit. As there are a lot of events which happen at the same time in the aircraft, we will present them in a sequential order. Let's assume we are in flight and no previous faults have occurred. Click on the forward arrow to activate the failure. As you can see, the first consequence is that the power supply for the first officer's PFD and ND, the captain's ND, and the lower ECAM is lost. The standard operating procedure recommends, in such a case, that the captain flies the aircraft while the first officer does the ECAM action. Observe that on the emergency electrical power panel, the red Emer-Gen fault light is on, meaning that the emergency generator is not yet online. Observe that the emergency generator light has disappeared. The emergency generator is now running and supplying the network. Read the title of the failure. The red Emer config title means that you are in an electrical emergency configuration. The red message, Land ASAP, recommends to land at the nearest suitable airport as soon as possible. The pilot flying will ask you to perform the ECAM actions. You will try to reset the generators. Here, this will be done for you. The reset of the generators has not been successful. Before continuing with the procedure, let's look at how to access an ECAM page when the lower ECAM is not available. An ECAM page can be called up on the upper ECAM by pressing and holding its associated key on the ECAM control panel. Call the ECAM ELEC AC page. The page is displayed on the upper ECAM as long as the associated key is maintained pressed. Notice that the emergency generator box and its parameters have appeared. The emergency generator supplies the AC essential bus and the essential TR. The white indication at the bottom of the page means that the commercial equipment is also shared. To see the DC part, you have to call the ECAM electrical DC page. Called DC page. Notice the emergency generator supplying the essential TR, which in turn supplies the DC essential bus. As soon as the key is released, the engine warning display is back on the upper display. As the previous reset of the generators was not successful, we will carry on with the procedure. Continue ECAM action. When the bus tie push-button switch is in the off position, each generator is only connected to its dedicated bus bar. By doing this, a short circuit can be isolated and might give you the possibility to reset one generator. The procedure asks you to try to reset the generators again. Here, this will be done for you. The reset of the generators has failed again. Note that in the A340-600 case, the electrical emergency configuration leads to the loss of the EPR, and so the engines revert to the N1 unrated mode, which procedure is explained in the engines chapter. As the next steps of the procedure concern other systems, we will stop here and study the indications on the right side of the engine warning display. Notice the green arrow. It indicates that other failure messages and their associated procedures are stacked after the EMER config one. The list of affected systems is displayed on the right engine warning display memo. We will now assume that all the procedures have been reviewed. As you clear the last one, memo messages appear on the engine warning display. The green emergency generator memo message indicates that the emergency generator is running and supplying the system. We will now jump to the approach phase.
The status page has been called for you. You can read on the approach procedure that you will have to switch the land recovery push-button switch on. This will allow you to recover the DC land recovery bus, so the following equipment will be restored: SFCC1 and LGCIU1. Note that in battery configuration, the SFCC1 flaps channel will be lost. Switch on land recovery. The ECAM Electrical AC page has been called for you. For training purposes, the ECAM Electrical DC is also shown. The land recovery DC bus is now connected, which is shown by a green indication on the ECAM Electrical DC page. On the ground, the emergency generator is automatically deactivated after engines 1 and 4 are shut down. The aircraft is powered on batteries only. Note, on the ground, DC land recovery bus is supplied whatever the position of the land recovery push-button switch. Batteries are connected to DC battery bus only when the speed is below 50 knots. For training purposes, both ECAM electrical pages are shown.
We will now review part of the emergency elect procedure when powered by the RAT only. The RAT will extend automatically when both AC11 and 24 buses are lost, with engines 1 and 4 lost. Click on the forward arrow to activate the failure. When the emergency generator is powered by the RAT, less electrical power is available, and additional items of equipment are shed. Both AC and DC essential shed buses are shed, as shown by the shed indication on the elect pages. All land recovery AC and DC buses are also shed. They can be recovered if and when necessary through the land recovery push-button switch. We are now in approach, and we need to extend the flaps. For that, we first need to restore the power supply to the SFCC1. This will be done by switching the land recovery push-button switch on. Recovery. As the system is powered by the RAT, at slats extension, the emergency generator will be inhibited and the supply will be automatically transferred to the batteries. Note, the emergency generator can be reactivated after slats retraction through the man-on push-button switch. Set flap 1. For training purposes, both ECAM pages are shown. Notice the amber indications for the essential TR, which is no longer supplied by the emergency generator. The DC essential bus is supplied from both batteries as indicated by the amber arrows. As the battery discharge currents are high, the current indications are displayed in amber. Observe that the EMERGEN title has turned amber, while the static inverter parameters are now shown. The AC essential bus is supplied from the DC essential bus via the static inverter. We will now review some indications we did not have the opportunity to see when performing the previous procedures. As we have just seen, as a result of the loss of all 4 main generators, the emergency generator normally runs automatically to power the electrical network. During the emergency generator connection time, the electrical system is powered from the batteries. The approximate flight time on batteries is 30 minutes. Let's see what happens if the emergency generator fails to run automatically. If the emergency generator fails to run, a specific line appears in the emergency elec procedure telling you to manually start it on the emergency elec power panel. Press the Man On push button switch. The guard is up. Please carry on. Start the emergency generator. The Emergen fault light extinguishes as soon as the emergency generator is supplying the system. We will now see what happens if we have an emergency generator fault. If the emergency generator is not working, the red fault light stays illuminated. This failure causes the aircraft to be powered only from the batteries. For training purposes, both ECAM elec pages are shown.